XLR Mini, if you can swing it.
Yeah, man, it's on my list of things to buy. It's just we've had so many other things come up. Like my missus and I were waiting for the big Pokemon card launch this month, so it tends to take up a fair bit of cash. So,
How'd that go,
yeah,
by the way? I
think
meant to
that-
watch it, but I was at work.
Yeah, we pulled. Well, the thing is, we pulled cards, but we didn't actually like check beforehand what the chase cards were. So we thought we got them, but there's like 10 different copies of the same cards this time around. So we were happy with what we got. I think we're missing around 70 cards at the moment. So it's not too bad for an opening, yeah.
I'd say that's successful.
Yeah. Well, it's a big deck this time. It's like 233 cards, I think.
Big deck.
Monstrous. It's a big dick where you get the New Zealand accent.
Big deck?
It's a big dick. They have the sensational ad I will find and send to you that got inevitably banned in New Zealand because they took full advantage of the accent.
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's hilarious.
Man,
I'm going to turn that off. I'll send it to you individually. For later.
All right, I'm gonna grab some more coffee. We get started.
Sure. Oh, if he's coffee running, watch it. Good times.
All right.
It's so It's just non-stop too.
Oh, fuck, what?
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. There's no...
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But they were like, "Hey, that's just the way we pronounce things." And their own country went, "Dude, we talk the same as you. We get it."
Oh, man. My dick's the talk of the town, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Like to have other people on my dick.
I got pictures of my dick.
That's it. It's hard to keep my dick dry.
Barbara always loves to receive my dick pics.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Classic. So yeah, it was up for about 2 days, and they got pulled because of complaints.
Who complained about this? It's fucking fantastic.
I don't
One of
know.
the best things I've seen on the internet in a while.
Not bad. It's just harmless fun.
So I actually came across this thing on YouTube where it's basically people taking real life scenarios of like crackheads and crazy people, and they call it like the Oblivion NPC does this or Oblivion NPC does that.
That's a fun idea.
It's genuinely some of the best shit I've seen on the internet, period. And I mean, it's like one of them was so good where this guy was like riding on a bicycle, and this guy comes walking by him on the streets of New York, and he's just like, the world's going to hell in a handbag, and everybody's worried about wiping their asses with tissue paper and toilet paper. And like it's like totally
sounds
something
like
you
Oblivion NPC, yeah.
yeah, so you know what I mean? Like he just like casually strolls by the guy on the bike, and then he says it, and you're like, that literally sounds like a for real NPC scenario.
Oh, I swear that like Bethesda's NPC riders like just regularly go down like certain side streets in LA, man.
I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking
Yeah.
of Bethesda, they had some good shit they showed the other day, man.
Man, Microsoft won this conference, hands down.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you. Honestly, I don't want to get too
We'll
far
get
into
into
it before we get started. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be ready in 2 seconds.
I don't want to spoil all the good
Sure.
stuff.
Spoilers.
So since we don't talk about anime on the show, how was My Hero?
I really enjoyed it, dude. Yeah, I think I've got the bug again. It's been a long time since I've like had a crack at anything anime.
Sure.
But yeah, man, I'm probably gonna watch a couple of other series that Hebrew's recommended now. But I've looked at clips of some of them, and some are fucked up. Like Attack on Titan, I don't
Oh,
know
that one's
what I'm
super fucked
watching.
up, dude. No.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that Attack on Titan is so that's probably up there one of my favorites, and that's a very brutal, gruesome anime to watch, and it's depressing and
Yeah.
dark. But the story after the second season gets fucking like incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
it's so good, man. And it's almost over. It's only like I think it's in total going to be like 50, 60 something episodes in full, and I
Oh,
mean that's
shit.
nothing, you know.
You've watched all of MHA?
Yes.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I'm up to date now. So that's how quickly I blitzed it.
You know, man, if you find a good anime, and you just can't stop. You know, you get sucked into that storyline. I mean, that's how I was with Black Clover. Like, I'm done with it already. And I mean, I was so in. I'm sad that and it's not even over. Like, they're on hiatus right now because they're making a movie, and it's killing me because the part where they cut off in the storyline, there's like some epic stuff going on, and I'm like, give me more, please.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I will say, like, this season of MHA has probably felt, it's probably my least favorite arc so far. And not that it's bad.
Easily.
It's just that there's something missing. And, like, the big
I-
reveal type thing, or the big battle was so much less. It was more anticlimactic this time around when, Deku gets the big reveal.
I
won't say any
agree.
more than that.
I agree.
But, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so Jujutsu Kaisen's only 24 episodes, but I highly suggest you watch it. If you liked My Hero and you like those kind of like shonen type anime, it's hands down one of the best I've ever watched, easily.
So I've seen that term thrown around a fair bit this week. What is that? Shunin type anime?
Like where people get superpowers and they,
cool.
They kind of like the One Piece thing where it's like, Luffy has, he's like, oh, I want to be the Pirate King, and he's on a quest to become the Pirate King, kind of like Bleach with Ichigo wants to be, the best. He wants to save all his friends. And
Bleach come up a lot. None of my immediate circles recommending it, but I've heard a lot of people talk about Bleach in the past.
So people have like mixed feelings about Bleach. Bleach was my first anime, and so Bleach to me is like, if I throw on certain episodes, I'll get fucking teary-eyed watching Bleach because it was it's such a good anime, and I think a lot of people don't like it because of how many fillers there were. But I don't know. I guess maybe for me it wasn't too much. But like the Arrancar arc, which is like the second or maybe third arc in the story, it's heartbreaking, man. Like they build these insane stories where you like they humanize the enemies, and then basically Ichigo like fucking plows through them all, and then you feel sorry for him in a sense, because they're just trying to do their thing, and it's a sick story, man. It's a story. It's like there's a lot of betrayal, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of like it's the classic shonen arc where it's like Ichigo has a low power, and then he gets his ass whooped, and he's like, oh, I gotta get stronger, and he comes back and he's like infinitely stronger, and then the next arc starts and it's like, oh wait, I'm a bitch, like I gotta find the next power up, and then he finds the power up, and it's like he's building like that until the final battle. And that thing, dude, if I throw on episode 310 of Bleach, I will most assuredly start bawling at the end of it, because I can remember when my best friend and I watched that episode together when it released, and we were both like, holy fuck, it's over. Like, oh my God, like it's no, dude, don't tell me it's done, because it was such a journey watching that shit, because I think I got in when it was like on, I think I got into it when it was on like episode 250 or 60, and so we started watching it like weekly when it would release, and yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Attack on Titan as well. That story, I'm so engaged in it that like when they did the most recent season, it got real, like super real, and I don't know, it hit me in the feels, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'll find something.
It's Bleach is so here's the thing with Bleach, One Piece, or Naruto. Like they're hard to get into because of how many episodes there are, right? So like if you have a job or kids or any kind of obligation, it's really hard to fully get into them. That's why I like the My Hero Academia or Attack on Titan or something like that, because they're shorter and they kind of skip a lot of the filler stuff of episodes where it's like, oh, they're gonna go to the Chinese Lunar Festival, and play around in the streets for 2 episodes. Like you
Right.
just don't care about that kind of stuff usually,
Yeah. But there's not too many of those in MHA at least.
No. Dude, I think there's like 1 or 2 a season, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I love that they've got like 3 arc seasons. Like they're definitely like they're 3 acts, which is always pretty rad.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty games.
Groovy.
Yeah, we wanted to get our anime conversation out of the way
That's
before we
perfectly
started.
fine. Perfectly fine. I used to be.
Yeah,
we
we
live
went
on-
from
we-
like anime is lame to now like addicted in like a week and a half. So
That's how it is, man. Like I find a lot of people
Sure.
they have that stigma where it's like, oh, I don't want to be a weeb or anything like that. But then you watch like a Bleach or a My Hero, and you're like, oh, that was kind of dope, man. Like I want to see what's going on
yeah,
here.
man. For
Yeah.
sure.
I mean,
Are we live on Twitch, by the way?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
literally wearing a Robocross T-shirt right now. So it's
Yeah.
like can't.
Yep.
I can't. I
That's
can't
that's
deny
the
it.
that's the OG right there, man.
The Macross
Okay.
Saga was one of my favorite anime series. All right.
I still have like the original Robotech videos on VHS. Like that's how.
Shit was dope.
Yeah.
It was like budget Transformers that was like cooler than Transformers in my
That's actually a really good
People
way to
forget
put it.
original Transformers. Original Transformers was budget Transformers.
opinion. It definitely was. All right.
And then we had the GoBots, the Kmart Transformers.
True.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Overachievers Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Vash, joined as always by Chef Grundy Pastrami, because Ashley Pastrami is out gallivanting in the wilderness of Seattle, I believe. I think he's not. He's on the West Coast for work, so he's unable to join us today. He will be back next episode. But filling in for the Dom extraordinaire is Chewburger84. What's up, buddy? Welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure, guys. I feel like now that I know I'm replacing him for a week, I should have like a fake accent and like just talk about pizza and stuff.
You
That's
should.
like, the gist of it, right?
And then you just have
You
to,
just gotta,
you just got to fight everyone, and just that's what it is. That's how it works.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
I would
gonna
have
say,
shaved
you
off
just gotta
everything but the
ground-
mustache. Had I
you
known.
just got to ground slam people and talk about pizza, and you've got it covered.
Yeah.
Wait.
So this week's gonna be a good one. So we're talk about our usual topics, but the main topic of today is going to be E3. But before we get into that, Chew, why don't you tell us what other podcasts that you're a part of and other projects?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, we're just doing one, although we're getting back into the tubes at the moment. So we're doing the Alternate Reality podcast. You can find us on YouTube and also on, all the places you can find these guys. So yeah, Alternate Reality is where you can find us. We may be rebooting one of our D&D pods soon, though. So I may hit up you guys to see because we're looking for a fourth. But
Okay.
yeah, for now, just the A&R pod.
Sweet. Well, I will have some time coming up in the next 3 weeks.
Snap.
So, but it's great. So that's just what YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff for A&R Pod. Essentially, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, so just for the podcast itself, Alternate Reality. Otherwise, for socials, it's pretty much all me. So just at Chewburger84 on every platform imaginable, except for OF. We're thinking about that one.
And so, what can you do with OF with D&D though? That could be fun.
I think there's plenty of Ds and double Ds on OF, to be fair. So, I mean, there's options everywhere.
Absolutely. You can find us and our socials and all that stuff on. Oh my goodness, dude! It's been a minute since I've done this. You can find us on Instagram at og.podcast. Our Twitter's overachieversp. Our website is ogpodcast.fm, where you get this episode and every episode where we talk about video games, OnlyFans, and people getting banned for not doing things on Twitch that they should be doing anyway. So, also, if you're interested, I unfortunately made a TikTok for the podcast, and I hate myself for doing it.
You gonna start doing dances?
No, it's just going to be either
No.
gaming. No, I'm not, dude. Do you really want to see me dance? No, you don't want to see that.
Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah, I do.
It's worse than the Elaine dance from Seinfeld. So it's going to be.
I mean, you realize that would make you infamous on TikTok at this point in time,
I
right?
guess I can only help the podcast, right? At that point.
Yeah.
But you can find us on TikTok at og.podcast. So that's us there too. I'm trying to make that just like the brand across all things.
OG.podcast.
Yeah. So we'll see. Just because OG Podcast is already taken by someone else called like, I don't even know. It wasn't even a gaming thing. It's just like some other weird thing. So I was like, all right.
They're
OG,
probably an OG, man.
They're not the OG. But And there's also like somebody took Vash already as like as a name on TikTok. I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
You know what's interesting? So a girl that I've been hanging out with, she's a psychologist, and one of her friends that she like does what's the thing called Clubhouse? You heard of this application before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the friend that she does a lot of stuff with, her name is Dr. Vash. And I was dying laughing, but I mean I didn't realize that that's actually like an Indian, like it's a last name. It's pretty common in India.
Yeah.
But so I was like,
if it's you this whole time with the voice mod, I'll be really impressed.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so let's get into not the news of the week, but let's get into what we're playing. Chew, since you are our guest, why don't you give us a little rundown of what you've been playing lately?
Yeah, I'm going to let the team down quite a bit this week. The last month for me, I'm going through a transition at work into a new role, so onboarding new staff. So not much. It's been mobile gaming, actually, for the first time in a long time.
Oh, shit.
Kondo was in with us for a little bit. With My Hero Academia, The Strongest Hero has been pretty much the only thing I played other than a little bit of Biomutant on PC.
How did you like that, by the way?
It's hard going. It reminds me a lot of around the time when Fable 2 dropped. There were so many games like this that had this really cheesy, like really badly written narrator that like that alone was enough to kind of put you off before you even got into it. But it seems to be there's a lot of things that really scale the game down. The combat feels a little bit clunky, especially if you're rolling melee. The guns don't feel too good early. I think the only way that I've played it so far that feels fun is if you're just throwing spells around with psyops. But it takes probably a good 3 or 4 hours into the game before you start to really get some of the decent, abilities. So yeah, I love any world that's kind of like there's a world now and there was a world before, and there's kind of hints to the old world like a Horizon or Fallout or anything like that. You've generally got me interested enough that I'll give you patience, but yeah, Biomutant's missing a few bits and pieces, I think, that hooks you in. Personality's the biggest one. It sort of sells itself as this big, kind of like Kung Fu Panda meets Conker's Bad Fur Day, if you watch the trailers, but it doesn't have that personality that any of that really has outside of it. So, yeah, I can't say I recommend that.
Definitely.
That sounds like a game I'd like to play. Conker's Bad Fur Day and Ratchet combined.
Dude, I'd play that.
That's a throwback. I missed that game.
That's a deep cut. If you know that game, you'll love that game. 100%.
Yeah. I love how much shit he talks in that game.
Yeah, well, it was Deadpool on Nintendo, realistically, and that has made him a squirrel. That's what that game was.
Yeah, that's actually super accurate.
A big fan of that. But so that's the only mobile game you're playing is that one. I listened to the episode that Chrono was on, but I didn't remember that you talking about that game per se. What is that game about?
So it's kind of like someone looked at all the popular mobile games and crammed all the game modes into one. So that was kind of the interesting thing about it. And when you first start off, like there's a lot to do. You can kind of pick your lane, the things you want to focus on, whether it's PvE. Arena's kind of broken. PvP. The ping kind of defines everything, and it's just this running around dodging and waiting for someone to make a mistake. It's not really that fun. I will say that they've gone through a massive controversial period. It seems to be every mobile game I pick in the last 3 years does this, where they're getting review bombed right now. They're about 1.8 as of this morning. They were 4.5 last week because their Taiwanese server's been out for a lot longer than ours, but it's kind of you look at what happened on their servers, and that's kind of the roadmap as to what's going to happen for us. But the global devs keep changing stuff. So you guys know what a pity system is with gacha games, obviously?
Yep.
Yep, so the pity on the Taiwanese server was 60, and then about 3 weeks ago they changed it on global up to 100, which for this game is significantly worse, because to max out a character, you need 12 pities, basically, which is insanely expensive. It costs about $2.5-3 grand US to try even get close to maxing out one character if you have to rely on
what?
It's really, really bad, yeah. Because they need cards and everything as well to optimize them. So that was bad. And then the character was kind of tipped to be the PvE god. He was really, really good. Endeavor on the Taiwanese server. they nerfed the absolute Christ out of him, but they did not tell anyone that they'd done it. So, we've all pulled it. We're logging on that day, testing. He's dying where he was unkillable on their servers. So everyone's kind of blown up that they've changed it knowing what everyone was expecting with absolutely zero announcement. So their communication's been really bad. They're kind of using like an in-between dev just to copy and paste what's happened on the original server, and then they're making these minor changes worldwide, but all the changes have been in the interest of money. But I think I know why they're trying to do it, because it's kind of broken as a system. If you get two particular characters, you can just annihilate the entire game's worth of content. So, yeah, it's in a weird place. The game is really fun. It's got a great IP, obviously. But, yeah, monetization-wise, they're really going full greed mode. So then they had the craziest compensation today. They've announced that anyone that's pulled it, every role that you've had at the end of this event, up until now and the next 2 weeks as well, anything that you rolled, they will give it back to you, but you get to keep everything you had at the end of the event. So imagine buying like orb after orb after orb after orb in Marvel Strike Force for a month, and then they just gave everything back to you for the in-game currency.
All right. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually,
so I think that's broken the game, because they haven't realized it yet, but yeah.
I played it for like a week and a half, and I reached a point where I said to myself, I think I'm just burnt out with mobile games in general. Like, it's just, I think I've just hit that point where they don't do it for me anymore. But I think the number one thing that I've noticed is that every one of these games, it's no longer about, is this a fun game? There is a ramp up period, and they're all built and designed the same way. Make it fun at the beginning of the game, but then you get like 3/4 of the way through it and you feel that hard wall that they put in that game, the hard paywall. And I just think it's shitty that they're all gunning to just dig deep into people's wallets, and they know how, at this point in time, there's enough research and studies to show like people that have FOMO and addiction problems will just go all in on it. And it's crazy to me how that entire genre of gaming has evolved into a straight up fucking just, they just are bleeding money out of people, I mean, or they're sucking money out of people, and it's sucks, because I started on Summoner's War so many years ago, and I mean, yeah, that game was somewhat pay to win at first, but I mean, I didn't really throw too much money into it, and I had a fucking blast with that game for years, but I can't say the same about a lot of other games out there, especially like Strike Force and Contest of Champions is another one, for example, where it's just people just throw so much money into that game.
Yeah,
I can't believe hearing that you have to put $2,000 to $3,000 for a character is, I mean, for any,
that's if you want to max it,
for any development team sitting down and strategizing how to build out a system like that, and they know full and well that is like the way that they're gonna paywall it. That's fucked up, man. And it's just it's out of hand at this point. And I don't want the government to come in and step in and mess with this kind of stuff. But man, it needs some kind of regulation, honestly.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I mean, it literally is the most profitable market of gaming now. Like, I mean, it's in the close to hundreds of billions now. I mean, you look at games like Genshin Impact made $1 billion by itself in its first 12 months.
That's just
say it again.
So Genshin Impact has already crossed $1 billion revenue.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, it's actually not even a year. I think it's like 8 months, maybe.
It definitely hasn't been a year. That's insane. And I think that it's funny because I mean the game is straight up a ripoff of Breath of the Wild. That's crazy, dude. I guarantee you that the team that put that game together did not expect that to be the case.
100% they didn't. But I mean, I think it's probably the best done version of this, because if you truly don't want to spend money in that game, or you just want to buy one character and then ride that to the end, you absolutely can. And there's enough to do daily where you're not gated by stamina. I mean, it's not perfect. There is still some walls that you hit that are pretty hard, but honestly, that has hours of content daily if you want to. I think Genshin Impact is the best version, And anything that's like, if they did Marvel Genshin, which we're kind of hoping Future Evolutions is, that's enough for me to say I'm going to play the crap out of that game.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I'm hoping that I mean, we've talked about mobile for a bit, but like and I know we've said this on the podcast before, but like Future Evolution is like the next game that I'm like going to be diving into making content for. We're going to be talking about it again. That's when we're going to open up, I guess, our Marvel gaming segment. I think we're just going to call it. We're just not going to call it specific to my Future Evolution, but we're just going to keep it Marvel gaming in general, just because I think there's a lot coming out that we'll get into about all the games that are coming out that are Marvel related. But I really hope that game succeeds, and I hope they don't paywall it too much, because I know it's expected. It's Netmarble. They're going to do it. But it's just a matter of, is it limited to skins? Because if it's limited to skins, I'm perfectly okay with it. But I just hope it's not like, you have to. I just hope it's not like Strike Force level types of gated. But I don't know. I didn't think that Future Fight was that paywalled, but I didn't play Future Fight in the end game. I only played it like casually for on and off for a couple of years, so I don't really remember how that worked out. But I'm really hoping that that game is as fun. And I don't know. Have you heard anything about a release date? I heard like maybe this year it's coming. So
the 29th of this month, there is going to be some kind of an announcement that is going to be worthwhile. They're basically running a 24-hour streamer event, which you guys should absolutely join in on. We're signed up, but we have no idea what is actually going on yet.
Yeah.
To go back real quick, we're on one point there. So Future Fight, let me say this. A lot of people hate how monetized it was, but I will say that what I loved about their monetization strategy, if you were a whale, is you could see what you wanted and just buy it. So, for example, the equivalent of getting a maxed out like level 70 in Strike Force, you could pay $100 and you had it. You just got it. And then if you wanted to apply the red stars to it, it was like $100, done. Like it was whatever it was. It wasn't random chance. It was just you got it. So it was old school monetization. It was way overpriced, but at least there was no randomness to that part of it. There was loot boxes in the game, but you could go around that. And then like once a month, I think they gave the community one of those instant upgrade tokens of each type as well. So you could take one character straight up to max level, one character straight up to max boost, like Red Star equivalent. So, and it was a genuinely fun game as well. I just got into it too late. That's the only reason that I didn't keep going, because I was way too far behind to compete then.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I started playing Future Fight thinking that it was Strike Force for a day. Like, my friend had told me about Strike Force, and I went and downloaded Future Fight, and I was like playing it for the full day. And he's like, "Where are you, man?" And I'm like, "I'm looking for you in game, but I can't find you." And I ended up taking a picture and sending it to him. He's like, "Yeah, you're on the wrong game, dingus." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, but it's I'm fingers crossed. They've been putting out a lot of content. Like I know that we're a part of that Discord. That's community Discord that Thorn7 and Wolverthor are part of as well, which I'm actually kind of excited for. We did sign up for the streamer event. I just haven't heard back from those mods about what that specifically means for that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff. Whether or not that's just talking about the game or just like having discussion about it, I don't know. We'll see. That's in you said the 29th is when that is, I think.
29th. That's all I know. Apparently they're going to allocate times to each streamer that signed up, but I mean we haven't even got confirmation that we are. So I have no idea, mate.
All right. Well, just keep an idea. Keep a lookout for the Discord. Or I guess we'll put an announcement there for us. Or if you guys get it too, let us know, and we'll put it in our Discord too to spam out to everybody for that. So
Definitely.
Chrono, what are you playing?
World of Warcraft.
Surprise.
I know. I'm addicted, man. I'm straight up addicted. I was telling Charlie earlier, or Vash earlier, that I became raid leader for one of the 10 mans in my group, and it's been consumed me. It's been a lot of fun. I definitely miss the WoW banter, like the shit talking and the constant. Yeah, like the constant like competition, internal competition, friendly competition, and trash talking. I don't know. I forgot. I love shit talking people in game. So not in like a kill yourself kind of way. I'm talking like very yeah, like you were saying, blame the hunter or blame the priest or get good. Yeah, that's the one right there. Like whenever somebody pulls threat off me, even though I know they're being an idiot, they're just like, hey, can you just like get good at tanking, please? Like But that's been a lot of fun. Yeah, Leroy Jenkins is right, man. I am Leroy Jenkins. That's what I do. I'm a prop paladin, so I just run in and Leroy the shit out of things. But I've been playing that, and what else? I was playing actually. So I since Ashy was doing his other what does he call it? Beer the beer cast or I don't know
Game of the Beer.
Game of the Beer. Once he showed me about this Parsec.app application where I can actually, my buddy and I can sync into each other's computers and play games together. We've been going back and playing some old school games, and we were playing Secret of Mana together the other day on Super Nintendo. Yeah, oh, it's a nostalgic title, you know. We blew through it real quick in like a day and a half, and then we were playing Champions of Norath together, which is like an old school. I want to say it's like a Diablo-esque version of EverQuest. So they took like EverQuest lore and they turned it into a Diablo game, and it's tons of fun. It's a very classic game that we played with a lot when we were younger, and it's been cool to like be able to, you know, kind of have like a nostalgia throwback trip and play that. But I mean, we have everything on farm in WoW, so I mean, we're in tier 4 right now, and it's like there's like not much to do. So now that I've pretty much beat the shit out of the content that's in the game, you know, it's on like I'm not as addicted to it. So I got to go back and actually beat Resident Evil 8 a bunch of times and start trying to get my platinum trophy that I claimed that I get before you and haven't even tried to get.
You got time, because I still have one left and I can't finish it.
You just don't want to do it. It's not that you can't finish it. I feel like it's a motivation factor that you don't want to finish it, because if I was sitting here doing it at the same time as you, you'd be like, "Oh, fuck this shit. I gotta
Yeah, exactly. Got to beat Crondo at it. So, but now since you're just like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm like, it's really...
Just wait. I'm gonna get the bug, and then all of a sudden, I'm just gonna creep up on you, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I gotta get in form real quick." But yeah, I've been playing. I plan to play that. Following that, once I beat 8 a couple times, I'm 100% about to pick up Demon Souls, because I picked it up the other day, and I found a used copy at GameStop, and I was like, "Wow, okay, that's a rare sighting, I believe." I can't believe people will pay $70 for a game and then return it or take it to GameStop and accept $22 for a game, and then they turn around and sell it to me for $62. Like, eat a dick, GameStop. I hope that. Yeah, I just don't understand how that company works and how they stay in business. But I guess it's because they're the only one. Stonks, yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. The company was about to go down, right? So
we have nothing but ourselves to blame for that one.
We have nothing but Wall Street bets to blame for that one.
And speaking of, I've completely recouped all of my losses from GameStop, so I'm very excited.
Nice.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so that whole when I was on and you guys were asking me like, "Oh, how much did you lose?" and I lost a lot of money. I never sold because I got busy and forgot, and so I still have everything. So I've recouped everything. It's great.
You probably made a bit on AMC too if you bought some of that.
Yes, quite a bit, very much so. So bought in at $6 for AMC.
Wow. Okay.
Did you really?
And a few options. Yep. So,
and then it's about to reopen too. So man, you've done well.
And I'm just hanging out at this point. So just be like
hanging out.
Might as well. I got
made a cool like 5 figures off of that one probably.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. I've been actually playing a couple of games real quick, and I'll gloss over it for the most part. And one of which I was very much wasn't expecting to play, but I've had a lot of fun since. A good friend of mine pretty much convinced me to get Ratchet and Clank, the Rift Apart, and that game is phenomenal. Like,
it looks amazing
to the point where like I love playing games in 60 frames a second on the PS5 just because I just love the 60 feel for console gaming. I'm actually playing that game in fidelity mode at 30, and the game is just gorgeous. And I've never had a game play that well without hiccups. It just looks incredible. It's just, I forgot how fun those games are. Of just like, yeah, it's cutesy. I don't know how you describe it. It's not like cartoony or childish, but it's just good, wholesome fun that just has like a lot of charm and character to it. And so if you're a fan of something that's like fun. I mean, in the game, it's not like that hard of a game, and I think it's like maybe 10 hours for the whole stuff. But it's just very.
Oh, okay.
It's just it's good. You know, I looked up like the platinum trophy route. I can get the platinum trophy in like 15 hours. So I'll definitely.
Of course you did.
Every game, I always look up platinum stuff. Always. I can't. That's how the Overachievers was born, because of that.
Would you play a game based off how easy it is to platinum the game?
100%. I have.
Even if the game itself sucked.
I've definitely purchased games for like $1 just because it was an easy platinum trophy. I can
like,
definitely
beat this game, please. Somebody just beat it.
I have definitely
trophy.
I have definitely padded my platinum trophy account because of that. I think there was one that was just like I forget which one. It was like a bubble bobble something. It was like an arcade thing that's just like play the game for an hour and you get a platinum trophy. Definitely done that. definitely have done that. So playing that.
Fishing for plats.
Still playing Mass Effect, which is great. Still in Mass Effect 1. I just haven't had a lot of time because of work. And then there was one other game that I was playing. I'm trying to remember what it was off the top of my head. It is not coming to me at the moment. Greedfall is what it was. Like it was a free on PS Plus, so I downloaded it, never really played it, and then I played it on stream for a little bit. But then I've been just like logging in here and there. It's fun. So, but and then I can't really talk about this one too much, but I can say that I am playing. I got into the New World Alpha, so I'm playing that. Has potential.
Is that Amazon's MMO game?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I canceled my pre-order on that one.
Ooh. How come?
The last beta sucked, and then retribution for canceling Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I wonder why they canceled. Did they say why they canceled the Lord of the Rings MMO, or they just said it was just too expensive?
An absolute fustercluck in regards to development. They had apparently massive bro culture up in the management, and they were just absolutely griefing the dev team consistently. Is the rumors out of there? Oh my God. That it was just a horrible culture. Everyone hated what they were doing. They missed every milestone. So then they just put it on the boys who are actually doing the coding, and yeah, it just sounded like a mess.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I don't know. I had paid for a New World a while ago, so I was just like, keep it. And I was playing Crowfall for a hot minute last week because it is a fun game. I know. I think I messaged you about it, Chew. That's a fun game, but it's I don't know if it's free to play going forward or if it just has like a freemium type feel to it. That's just it's a fun game just to pick up and play. But I think I watched a few of the like previous beta releases for New World, and with how I'm seeing the game play now, I'll probably stick to my pre-order and then just try it out. So, I mean, I already paid for it a while ago, so I might as well just hold on to it. So, we'll see.
Might as well just try it out.
Might as well try it out.
Hey,
I mean,
if it's fun, it's fun, right? I mean, that's the whole point of playing these games, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like action-based MMO, and I kind of like that. And it's just, I don't know. It reminds me of like Guild Wars a little bit, but like also, I don't know if you guys ever played Darkfall in terms of like how skill-based stuff levels up. Like I was a big Darkfall player, and it just kind of reminds me a lot of that. So I kind of like really, the more you use your sword, the more you use your shield, the better at it you get. So it's just about. It's in one hand, it's nice because you can focus on things you want, but it's also on the other hand, it's tedious because then he's like, oh, I want to be a mage now. I have to level my fire magic. Great. But still, it's just I'm sure there's lots of different things that they're doing, but it sounds like they've overhauled like the UI system and how the combat feels. It feels good and it looks really good, so can't complain about that. But I will probably be playing that in Back 4 Blood and Battlefield when that all comes out. So, but with that, let's dive into. I know we're already half an hour in, but let's dive into this week's topic of E3. There's a lot of stuff announced. Like a lot of stuff was announced. And before we get into all that, I will have to say, I absolutely cannot believe that the Battlefield trailer put in the jump out of the jet and blow up the other jet rocket in the trailer. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever played a lot of Battlefield and whatnot, but like Battlefield was like my shit. Like 1942 was like one of the first games I was played on PC. It was amazing. I love Battlefield. It was like my go-to game. Battlefield 3 was like so ridiculous, and Battlefield Bad Company 2 was just absolute so much fun, and it really hasn't gotten back to that game in a long time, but I am very much looking forward to playing Battlefield 2042, and that's probably going to be, I keep saying there's going to be a lot of games I'm playing. I'm going to be playing that game a lot. I'm very much looking
You'll be
forward
playing
to
the shit out of that game.
Definitely will be.
Yeah.
You gonna platinum that game?
Probably.
The Russian dude that invented that move, the bail out of the thing, get the rocket launcher, pump the guy chasing you, then get back in. Did you see his reaction to that in the trailer?
No, I did not see it, no.
One of my favorite reaction videos on Twitch this week, because it's his move, right?
Yeah.
And he's wanted it back ever since. And when he saw it in there, he just lost it, man. Definitely worth a watch if you're a fan of that maneuver.
Yeah, I forgot the actual name of it. It starts with an R. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's very... I don't know. That looks insane. It just looks like, it looks like pure Battlefield, and every gameplay looks a lot of fun, and I just had so much fun with that series. But anyway, so what do you guys think of the E3 announcements and everything like that? There's a lot of good stuff announced. And Chef, there's a couple things that you're interested in, and before we started recording, you had some hot takes about Microsoft, or all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it was a weird old expo in the sense that I think like many things like TV shows or gaming just all through 2020, 2021 that we've got such a hunger for content. I think a lot of us thought E3 was going to be much more, but it seems to be the same story of all the really, really, really big launches are still going to be 2022.
Yeah.
So, but Microsoft absolutely won this event. Nintendo a close second.
Yeah.
And then probably Ubi, I think, in third, and then just a cliff after that. It was some really great trailers, but the problem is it's all trailers. It's that trend of let's announce the big thing, or let's do a big cinematic set piece to show you we're still working on something, and like maybe 3-4 seconds of gameplay. That's it. There's so many of these games, I really want to see what they are, but I have no idea what they are based on what we saw at E3.
Yeah.
They're building up the hype on them,
100%.
It's just like, I would say that probably 70 to 75% of those trailers were all cinematics. There was no gameplay in any of them, except for Nintendo's. Nintendo, every game that they announced had gameplay in it. Which
every Nintendo trailer for the last like 5 years has been exactly the same. There is a cut shot with a guy standing on the top of a mountain, and it slowly drifts back, showing the grass physics. There is a guy slow walking through a town, right, with people walking past on the street. Like, it is literally the same trailer over and over again with 3 or 4 little reveals. Like,
You're not wrong.
You look back at them, it's 100% the same.
I thought Square was probably the worst one of the worst ones.
They are having a year, man. Like, if you really think about Square Enix's reputation, say 18 months ago versus now, completely different.
Yeah, Well, we'll just go ahead and dive into this one. And this is because I made a list of like 8 or 9 games that I'm really excited about. And this was on the list, but I don't know that it's so much excitement as it is to see whether or not they can actually adapt to the giant fuck up that is Marvel's Avengers. But they did the trailer for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at first glance, I don't like it. Like, first of all, it doesn't seem multiplayer oriented at all.
No, it's single player.
It's not.
Yeah, it's single player, which
all for that.
You're all for that?
I'm all for that because it's by Eidos Montreal, so it's the same people who made Deus Ex, and I fucking love Deus Ex. Like,
me too.
Deus Ex is probably like maybe my second or third favorite game series of all time behind Assassin's Creed, and they've just done a stellar job. I was wondering if they're going to do another Deus Ex, but then I guess like after they did Human Revolution, they switched to this, and I'm like, that team is so good about detail-oriented stuff. There's going to be so many things populated in the Guardians of the Galaxy game that like instant pre-order for me. Like, when I heard there's Eidos Montreal, instant pre-order. Didn't care what it was.
So do you think that it's going to be a overall much better game than Marvel's Avengers? Considering
that it's not Crystal Dynamics,
or they're not even really. Maybe they're not even comparable. Considering
they're not comparable.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, I think there is a correlation. If you look at the first 10 hours which is the fun part of Marvel's Avengers, which is the story, the campaign, where you basically are playing it like a single-player campaign. Yeah. I think that's basically what we're looking for here. But it's such a weird choice to have an ensemble comic. Like, it really is like 5 characters to tell the story. But we're only playing as Star-Lord?
Yeah, that's weird, right? Like, I can't play as Drax, or I can't play as, Groot or something like that, or Gamora.
Maybe it's like a team-based thing, kind of like Dragon Age Origins or something like that, like where you have them all in your stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But it looks.
Yeah, apparently you only control him, and then apparently you might tap a button and call an assist, kind of Ultimate Alliance style. Seems to be the way that they've described it. It's weird. It's an interesting choice, and very much the comic Guardians as well. So like people who fell in love with the movie versions, some of these characters are going to be very different. Well,
they wanted that, right? Like they didn't want Chris Pratt comedic Star-Lord. They probably wanted a little bit more serious, maybe. I don't know actually, because I didn't read the comics, so I wouldn't know. But I'm assuming that in that regard, Chris Pratt's pretty much a goofy dude, so maybe they wanted to kind of navigate a little bit away from that.
Maybe, but either way, I will be playing this game 100%, and just because I love that studio, and I know everyone's like mantra is like no pre-orders, but like it's my money. I'm gonna pre-order if I really enjoy like the game studio. I mean, I say that for why am I blanking on the name of the company who's the worst company? EA. That's right. Like I won't pre-order, like as much as I want Battlefield 2042. I'm not pre-ordering that game. I'm gonna wait probably a week until after it comes out, and then I'll probably buy it because it'll probably be on sale for 50% off. But
so can I go ahead and talk about the game that they announced that I'm the most excited about?
No, you're not allowed. Chew, what are you? I'm just cutting. You can go for it. Go.
I mean, everybody that listens to this show will already know that.
I think everybody tagged you on Discord. I think
I got a giant nerd boner when I watched the Elden Ring trailer, because it's basically everything that a From Software fan wanted out of it, and I think it's very telling of a game studio that actually produces quality games, because that game is going to come out complete, and it's not going to be DLC this, DLC that, in-app purchase. They make these games and they make them fucking challenging, because that's what the fans want. They want that game to be hard. They want it to be stunning, and it looks amazing. What I'm most excited about is the fact that George R.R. Martin had something to do with the storyline. Like, I'm actually intrigued, because Dark Souls doesn't have a storyline really. Like, I mean, there is a storyline, but it's vague. It's not really like the main overall part of the game. Like, yeah, I mean, there is a storyline, obviously, but
you kind of have to go
Bloodborne and Sekiro had a stronger story than any of the Dark Souls games. 3 was the game that had probably the strongest storyline, because I mean 2 is a very disconnected game, and 1 is just I don't think, I mean, to me there's like no storyline in 1, but that's the thing that I'm most excited about, is like how this interacts. And I mean, there's like, apparently they changed the weapon, the skill weapon system to where, like, originally in Dark Souls 1 or 2 or even 3, like if you wanted to do like the great sword would have a different heavy attack from the two-handed mace, or the rapier would have a different special attack from this weapon. Well, in this game, they're gravitating a little bit more towards what Sekiro did, where you can level up certain skills and use those weapons to utilize that skill. So they're kind of branching out and making it a little bit more, I want to say progression based, so where you actually have to like spend time, acquiring souls and leveling up to do certain abilities and techniques. And apparently they're doing a little bit more of an emphasis on making the magical combat a bit better, which is I'm always a fan of, because in Dark Souls that's like kind of a harder, more challenging run than in previous games. And in 3, the spells were insane compared to 2 or 1. 1, the spells are like good luck, dude. Not a good run, not a fun run, but overall, I mean, they got mounts in the game now. Like, you can ride your horse up a mountaintop, jump off of it, and just slice a group of monsters. Like, the game looks fucking sick, and I cannot wait to sink my teeth into it.
Now that you have a PS5, you can.
Now that I have a PS5, I can. Yeah, I can pre-order this bitch.
You can.
Which I think this is another game that's going to come out in 2022, because they didn't say anything about any release date, really.
It's January 2022, yeah.
Oh, so they did say it's January?
They did, yeah. So I'll be curious to see if they get to it because I mean they went from announcing it and then disappearing into the ether. So I mean just coming out now and then announcing something inside 6 months. I'll be surprised if it holds to that date. But I agree with you. It's got probably the best chance of anything we saw in those trailers at E3 that wasn't Nintendo of coming out complete.
Yeah. Which I'm excited about, man, because like it's something that's been bothering me with a lot of these games, like Marvel's Avengers, prime example, Fallout 76. They have the like what do they call it, like the No Man's Sky effect or whatever, but it's becoming a trend in a lot of the dude, wasn't Cyberpunk a little bit like that, where it wasn't really
a lot
like
of bit like that.
Game? Yeah, there's a lot of like that.
Still haven't
It's
played
the
it.
new bar.
Yep.
It's the new bar to where they want to just push to release these games, and they don't care if it's not complete because they're like, people will buy it. Oh, they'll come back to it. The hype is so real. Like, who cares if they continue playing or not? As long as we get the sale of it, then whatever. But I know the guy, what's his name? Like Hideo. I'm not gonna try to say his name.
Kojima?
The creator of these games, but he just something about his touch, man. Like, he makes quality video games. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this game and have like 3 panic attacks over it.
Yeah, it looks pretty insane. I'm very much excited to also play that because I still have Dark Souls to play on PS5. I just been locked into so many other games at the moment, but I'm definitely gonna get that. I'm gonna get this one game. It seemed like there's a lot of I'm just going through the list of all the stuff. There's a lot of Xbox/PC exclusive games on this. Is this gonna really man? I really don't want to buy an Xbox, but I might have to.
They made a power move.
No, you don't.
They made a power move by buying Bethesda. Like, that's really what it's all about.
So many. Yeah, I know.
They picked up that.
I guess I could just play it on PC, but
yeah, I'll be playing.
No,
on PC.
you can play it through your TV. That's the big game, evil plan for 2022. They announced it at the start of E3 that they're basically releasing like a Chromecast style plugin, and they are saying that they think they've got the Stadia style tech right. So you're going to be able to play anything that's on Game Pass on mobile, through television. I think the ultimate fuck you move is going to be when they release it on my Sony Bravia. I cannot wait.
100%. Oh my goodness.
You're saying that it Chromecast like off of your PC and you can just play.
But they're saying that any TV that comes out from now on, they're basically negotiating with all the major manufacturers that they're going to have built-in facility to do it. But for the people that already have TVs, obviously you need something, right? So if you've got an Android UI TV like I do, it'll just be built into things like Google Play. But otherwise, they're going to release this sort of Chromecasty plugin that'll allow you to do it and just controller straight into Wi-Fi, straight through the TV.
Oh my god!
So you don't necessarily need that. I think they've realized how much the chip shortage kind of boned how much they wanted to pivot to Series X straight away, and now they just don't have to. So even they were sort of going, you don't really have to buy an Xbox if you don't want to. We've got something coming for you guys.
Yeah,
watch this space, man.
Because because they don't really sell the consoles at a profit. Like the consoles are pretty much at a loss. They're just about getting games into people's hands. But they have the Game Pass Plus as well as the, I mean, I have a beefy PC and I'm still trying to get a 3090. Still cannot get a 3090 Dude, 7 months later. Yeah. It's just insane. Like I just need it for.
I can buy you some crappy overpriced ones here, like the ones that are almost like spec down. They're that badly configured. We've got some here if you want them.
Yeah, if I get desperate enough, I'll let you know. But I mean, my 2080 Ti's are still fine for right now. But yeah, it's just that's enticing to definitely be like, oh, I don't need to buy an Xbox, but I could still do that. I mean, Games Pass is such a good deal. It's almost worth just having the base. Was it $5 a month, something like that, just for the basic Game Pass, or like $10 a month, something like that.
Yeah, and then 15 if you want the PC as well. So I mean, this literally does make it Netflix because all you need is the TV, and then you're good to go. You know what I mean? So it's the first one that'll make that leap. It's just a question of, do they have the hardware? And let's face it, if anyone's got the budget to make this happen, it is Microsoft.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's definitely honestly, I hope they do it just as a fuck you to Stadia, because I like the idea of Stadia, but it's just the execution in the games and just the pricing. It's just not good. So, and I mean, I still have my Stadia controller. I still have my Chromecast 4K Ultra that came with it, but maybe that'll be what I play Xbox games on. So that'd be kind of fun.
There you go.
So,
Yeah, man.
but yeah, with a lot of those exclusives, like the new Arcane Studios, the guys who made Dishonored and Prey and all that stuff, have that Redfall.
Dude, that's actually number 2 on my list. The trailer for that game looked phenomenal. Honestly, like if that game has the gameplay to back up the trailer, it looks like the storyline that they portrayed was fantastic. Definitely a game I would play, hands down. Like it had that like Borderlands meets vampire kind of vibe, and I'm all about it.
Yeah, but
with like RPG elements, like it just looked dope.
It's just interesting though that like I like the I like Arcane Studios a lot. Like Prey, I thought was like an underrated game. It was definitely
Prey was fantastic.
If nobody's they did the original Prey 2, right? As well, not Prey 2, but like
I can't remember. I think I said to you guys before, my favorite trailer for all time is the trailer for Prey 2, which never came out.
Yeah. I have to go back and watch that. But like the original Prey was phenomenal. And the one that came out like the survival horror-ish game, still great. It's just I went through, I beat the game. I was trying to run my platinum for it, but then I got like distracted, never did it. But they had a bunch of DLC that came out for it, which is great, and it's always on sale. If you're ever looking to play a game that's just fun to play, and it just has a lot of awesome mechanics to it, it's great. But I was just looking at the trailer for Redfall, but it's just like it's literally everything is Bethesda Studios now, so it's just wild. So as you were saying before, Kronda, the acquisition of Bethesda is essentially like that is the home run that that Microsoft got, because now they're just doing all these things, and they're really having this powerhouse of Bethesda, because outside of what Skyrim and or Elder Scrolls and Fallout, like I haven't really seen much of an exclusive title come out of Bethesda in a minute that wasn't like I'm trying to like a new unique IP. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, let me ask you guys this question: who do you think is the Microsoft studio that releases the next Fallout? Do they give it back to Bethesda for another run, or do they go back to the old school boys, which is Obsidian, because they own them too?
Give it to Obsidian.
I hope so.
Man, 100%. I want that so badly. Do you guys play Outer Worlds?
I did not play Outer Worlds. I watched a bunch of speedrunners play that game, which is hilarious.
Yeah, same.
But I did not have not done it. Although they did, I did see
Ashley played it, didn't he?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. Was it on Games Pass?
It's good. It's on Game Pass now, yeah. But if you want all the DLCs, I'm waiting to do another playthrough, because July they've got the latest DLC coming through. I'm going to play the crap out of that. But Outer Worlds 2 is now announced at E3 as well. So, and I really hope that was just the audition piece they needed to get it back, because the soul that they built into their Fallout games is what made Fallout what it was. And that soul kind of died a little bit in 3. Went on to its deathbed in 4, and then just, breathed the last couple of guards.
Fallout New Vegas was 76. Such a good game.
That was Obsidian.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite one out of the whole series. I don't know, either that one or 3. I did like 3, but 4 was good. I mean, 4 was a good game. It just wasn't. It fell short in a few areas, in my opinion. But 76 blew asshole. Like, I was one of those people that bought 76 the day it came out, and then read online that it price dropped by like $30-$40 2 days later, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man.
I was saying both, dude. It's actually in a good place now, but I think you really want to play it with friends, because it's definitely that kind of MMO. Otherwise, you're just running around by yourself in nothing, which is nice for a while, but you get over it pretty quickly. So I hope that happens. And then Avowed is the other one that I was really hoping they were going to have more about, but that's kind of Obsidian's crack at Skyrim is what they're working on. So we didn't see anything else from that E3 about that.
Has anybody have they like made any notion that they're working on another Elder Scrolls game, period, or are they just doubling down on? Oh, they are.
They announced it last year, yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't. My buddy and I were talking about this the other day because we were thinking about like firing up Oblivion just because of how gangster of a game that was, and I'm like, man, are they ever going to make another one, or are they just like going to focus all
Oh no,
their
yeah.
efforts on the MMO?
I mean, they're definitely
it's
gonna.
coming.
They're. It's yeah. It'll definitely be here. I wouldn't expect it for a couple years. I mean, it's going to be. They are going to Skyrim the shit out of that game, and so it's definitely going to be like their next powerhouse of gaming and whatnot. Probably for. I'd be curious to see what they do at launch, but Skyrim came out what 2011, something like that, 2013, something like that. It's been a long. It's been
Long
out
time
for
ago,
a long ass time, and it's literally on
and they've
everything.
released it on literally everything you could.
I'm actually
I own it
surprised.
On PC.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not on my Tesla. Is what is what it is right now, because literally Cuphead's on my Tesla. But it's like it'd be hilarious if that comes to that at some point. But it's definitely I let them take their time with Elder Scrolls 6, because that's gonna be like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's like the next Crisis for your PC, where it's just gonna require like some insane sort of hardware to run it, especially with all the mods. It's just gonna be so good, and I'm definitely.
They're such good games, man. I just
You ever play the Skyrim VR, Chew?
Yeah, I did. It was surprisingly okay. I was expecting a lot of jank because it was like a last minute port. It's like, well, we've put it onto everything but smart fridges. I guess VR is the only thing we haven't touched yet, right? I mean, it's no Half-Life Alyx with how much it's responsive, but it's not terrible. Like, it feels pretty good with like the magic in one hand, sword in the other type playstyle as well. No, I was actually impressed. The Fallout version, not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim was pretty good on VR.
Yeah, I constantly have Fallout 4 VR on my wish list on Steam, and like it never goes below $30, and I just can't.
It's not worth $30.
No, I just say like if it comes down to like 10 or 15, then I'll probably pick it up. But I'm not gonna buy another version of. I've spent like hundreds of hours in Fallout 4, so I'm not really gonna spend another hundreds of hours in Fallout 4 VR. A, because I get sick in VR, and two, it's just like it's just gonna be. I don't know. I've already done all that I can in Fallout 4, but I just want to experience Fallout in VR. I think it'd be fun.
Well, maybe next year with the new headsets being full 4K for the PSVR 2, and then the new Apple one coming in. Apparently, sorry, Vive 2 coming in on 5K with OLEDs in each eyeball.
Man. I heard
it's hot. It's hot.
It's not a good time to switch careers, where I don't have nearly as much money as I did before.
And I just got a pay raise so I can finally get a VR set. Yay!
There you go. But
definitely wait till next year. Next year's gonna be the year of VR.
I'll wait for it.
PSVR 2, I will 100% pick up, because I love, out of all the headsets that I own, I think the PSVR is still one that I super enjoy, and the Quest is just still good. Like it's just such a good pick up, go, bring with you. Because I used to like bring my PlayStation and my PSVR with me on away jobs, and I just take the Quest and I can just do Beat Saber. That's pretty much all I play. So you can't go wrong with a little bit of cardio while playing video games. So it's good. All right. Anything else that really stuck out? I know there was the. Obviously, I'm not like ending the conversation. I'm just saying, well, what's up next? I know for me, I'm curious about. Talking, since we're getting into the Bethesda Game Studios type stuff, I'm curious about Starfield. It looks like Skyrim in space, I guess, but maybe they're trying to like combat like another Mass Effect. Like, I don't know. It looks interesting, but I'm very curious to see what they do with it. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think you nailed it. I think we're all kind of expecting Skyrim in space, right? And if I don't get a space Khajiit, like I'm not pre-ordering it.
Yeah, space Khajiit. What if it's like a space lizard, or a space mole?
I mean, that's been done more, but I mean, I guess it's a good consolation prize. Yeah, I mean, because I would love to kind of them to do the whole Warhammery thing, right? Of saying, okay, well, we have Skyrim. What if we just took that same world and the timeline and we fast forwarded it, and basically you can see what Dark Elves would be like, thousands of years in the future. I don't think they will, but that's what I would have really, really loved. But I don't know. This space everyone's kind of going for, since Star Citizen announced what it was doing, and will never release, I guess. But
Forever and
yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty much a Skyrim meets Mass Effect.
yeah, because there's no announcements for another Mass Effect after Andromeda, right? As far as I know, or
No, they've basically announced now that they are putting teams back onto something. So EA acquired that sort of remaster specialist squad now. So they're the ones that are going to go through and remaster all their old great ones, so that way they don't have to put new resources on that. But they have said that there will be another Mass Effect going back to this universe, and everyone's kind of talking that somehow Shepard's going to come back because they realize that it was Shepard and that crew was so much about what people fell in love with and want to see more of. I think Andromeda had a lot of potential because in the same universe, but they just butchered the release. And again, the soul. They really forgot a lot of what made the first one so important.
yeah. I mean, I still enjoy it, and the game still looks great. Bugs aside for it, if you can get past it. But like, I mean, if you ever want like a good 60-hour game that's like $10, like, I mean, I think always see Andromeda on sale for like $7 on PlayStation. Like, you can't go wrong with it. So, very curious to hear.
Oh, for sure. Well, I got the EA Origin Pro. I wasn't gonna get it, but there was It Takes Two, and I think of something else that was enough. As like, if you bought those two games, it's still less than an annual EA subscription, right? So, where I normally wouldn't play Battlefield, now I will, and obviously that falls under there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I mean, like you said before, everything's like just trailers and announcements. I'm wondering if, like, everyone being the past year has probably just affected everyone's development teams for being locked down in coronavirus. So I'm assuming like with all this stuff coming out in 2022, or at least whatever, we'll get more details, I guess, next year, or even probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if all these games that are being announced are just December 2022, and then like, oh, hey, 2023, 2024. So,
yeah,
we'll see. What all came out from Ubisoft? I know I'm very curious to get into Nintendo because I did not look at anything regarding Nintendo, so I'm actually curious to hear what you guys think. But Ubisoft, they just really had an Avatar game, and then they had another Watch Dogs, I want to say. I don't know.
I didn't see anything for Watch Dogs unless it was DLC. They've got the Valhalla stuff still coming out very shortly. They've got the raid on Siege of Paris is on its way. So they delayed the last couple of DLCs trying to make that a bigger deal. So there's hope there. Far Cry 6 obviously is the big release they've got coming this year.
Oh, that's what it was.
So they were just doing more story stuff. Yeah. And the Avatar one, there was absolutely zero gameplay in there. But I will say, if that game looks, the environment anyway, 60% of what we saw in that trailer as good, it's going to be one of the most beautiful environment games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I need to, actually, I see the trailer right here. I'm going to take a look at just a quick preview of that while I speak. I'm just literally scrubbing through it. Looks very interesting. I mean, yeah, if they stick to that, like, jungle environment for Avatar, it's just going to be, I don't know how they're going to dedicate resources to that, but, I'm very curious to see how they do it. I mean, I will have to say that the environments in Assassin's Creed Valhalla are probably like some of the best looking environments on a console I've ever seen in a long time, and how they're able to render all that stuff fast. And Ubisoft has always been very good about environments and realistic looking, literally everything. Gameplay aside, it's still like they just nail.
Then it snaps back to your character's face, right? Then you're.
Yeah.
You have one of the greatest love-hate relationships with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's fantastic to have seen the progression of your love, disdain, fondness. I don't know. It's just funny to hear your progression of emotions, your wide range of feelings on the game.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it looks wild. And then they also had what was it? They talked a bunch of stuff with like the new Rabbids or something like that. I'm just looking at Ubisoft's website right now. So Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, I guess.
I'm sorry. So did you guys play Mario vs. Rabbids?
No,
nah.
never played it.
Dude, you guys like XCOM, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like a version of XCOM that has adorable characters and actually requires more strategy than XCOM?
All right.
Mario
I'd
Rabbids
try it out.
is surprisingly a much better turn-based cover shooter than the XCOM reboot. Definitely better than XCOM, or gameplay-wise, maybe better than XCOM 2.
All right, interesting.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah,
You
I
son
didn't
of a
think
bitch.
I would enjoy it, but no, I actually really cannot wait to play this. We talked about it a little bit on our pod this week, and I didn't realize anyone else liked this game, but fortunately, Hooch is also a big fan. It is a really good turn-based co-op shooter. Very slick mechanics, man.
All right, I'll have to take a look. Is it Nintendo based, or I'm guessing
Yeah, it's only on Switch.
On Switch, yeah. Well, my wife has completely taken over her Switch because it is her Switch. I bought it for her, but if there's ever another like Switch Pro that comes out next year or then following year, who knows? I'll definitely or next gen Switch, I'll probably pick up another one and play it on that. But yeah, it's interesting.
Speaking of the Switch, can I talk about another one of the games that I'm super excited about?
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Two. I've got two. So number one, they showcased Metroid Dread, which
Yep.
I want to give a round of applause to Nintendo for not doing what every fucking game studio does and trying to make this game that everybody wants it to be, and they're trying to like do the Final Fantasy 15 thing where they got to make everything so fucking flashy and over the top, and they went back to the original way that Metroid was played, like Super Metroid, and they made a better version of it, and it looks fantastic. And I am super excited to play that because anybody that listens to me knows that I'm a huge fan of nostalgia, like throwback, retro games. And I'm glad to see that they took the original form of the game and made it better. And that's what I think myself and a lot of fans out there would like to see. I mean, don't get me wrong, the first person Metroid that they did on the GameCube, I think was the first one they did, or was it the Wii? The Wii that they released the first one.
Yeah, it was GameCube.
I think it was Metroid Prime, right? Yeah, those were fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Like I thought they were great games, but I'm a old ass gamer. I'm happy to see what I saw, and I will buy that. No questions asked.
I hope that they sort of put all the new mechanics in. Like, I hope they really dead sells it. Like, if they sort of bring in all those new mechanics that are just red hot right now in the Metroid sort of vibe, it looks great, though. It's definitely one of my most anticipated now.
For sure. And the other Nintendo title, well, there's actually two more that they showcased, but Mario Party Superstars. I said this last year that one of my biggest disappointments was the fact that my best friend and actually 2 years ago, my best friend bought me a Switch for Christmas so that we could play games together. And we both bought Mario Party, put it in, and we realized, oh, we can't wait. We could play three mini games with each other. We could play 3 mini games with each other. You couldn't play like the actual let's play a game of Mario Party, And I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. And I have a buddy of mine that works for Nintendo, and we both told him, we were like, dude, this is 2020. Like, why is there not online playability with this game? And that's one of the number one things that they boasted with Mario Party Superstars is that there will be full online capability, which I'll buy it. Yep. No questions asked. I got to beat my friend. Him and his girlfriend. Like, they talk all kinds of shit about the last time we played it together, which was like 2 years ago, and they beat me, and I got to have my revenge, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm glad that they're going to be able to pull that off, even though, I don't understand why Nintendo has such a hard time with anything online.
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
They just seem to like fall short on anything that requires online playability.
Yeah,
They don't even have Genshin Impact, do they?
No.
Don't know. They do have Fortnite.
No, they're like, oh, they finally got Fortnite. Gotcha.
I've had Fortnite for a while,
they're like the only company that doesn't have like good online playability, which is so weird to me, but that's their thing. The other one that I'm excited about is it's a throwback to a game from the Game Boy Advance, Advance Wars. Like they're doing a reboot of 1 and 2, which that's just another one of those retro games. Yeah, I mean, it's just like one of those. It's an old school game that, I mean, I was a kid when they came out, and they're just like old school versions of oh God, how would I explain it? Kind of like Pokemon-ish, but a different style. No, it's not. That's not really a good way to. I don't know how to even compare it, but yeah, I'm excited about it. Those are some of the things that I'm really. And I pretty much said everything that's on my list except for one game, which I mean, it blew me away that they were doing this. This was the only one that Square did that I liked was Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, where they're basically making like a Dark Souls version of Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
And yeah, and they actually showed gameplay. They actually showed gameplay in the trailer, and it looks pretty baller. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Like
I hadn't even heard of this.
Oh, I'm in it. I'm in it. Like I'm buying it. Like no doubt. I mean, that's a day one buy for me.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh, apparently they patched in online play to Mario Party on the Switch. I didn't know that.
Good to know. I haven't played Mario Party in a while. That's a big party game for us. Like whenever we have friends over. Well, now that we can, now that people are, things are starting to ease back up now. It's nice to. We had friends over last night and they're like, oh, we should have busted out the Switch and done some Mario Party. But there's a game that is coming out that we've talked about in the past that actually has a release date of September 23rd. And I instantly bought it on PS5.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Diablo 2 Resurrection.
Yep.
Okay. Why PS5? It's going to be the most expensive place to buy it.
Why do you think?
Graphics?
Oh, no, platinum trophies.
Trophies.
Oh,
bro.
trophies.
Why?
Of
I
course.
mean,
He gets it for the trophies. Why? Because that's an easy plat.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Diablo 3 was not an easy plat. But,
what are you talking about, dude?
It was not an easy plat. It was you had to like the hardest part about that was leveling up every character to 80 or whatever the max level was in that game.
Yeah.
And then doing the beating everything and going to max level to 80 on hardcore mode, which I thought was always tough.
I only play that game in hardcore mode, dude. That game is so easy.
But still,
I have 2 platinum trophies, Diablo 3 and Resident Evil 7. Okay, like that should tell you. That should tell you all you need to know about my opinion on how difficult it is to platinum Diablo 3.
Fair enough. There's a lot of grinding.
Or maybe I just love the game that much. I don't know.
I'm definitely playing it on. I'll probably play it on PC as well. But I definitely picked up on. I don't know. I just like those isometric type games on a console. I don't know what it is. I just think it's a lot of fun. And I really felt that Diablo 3 on console was really well done. And so I was like, you know what? I always like to vote with my wallet. And so I was like, this is what I want. I want more of this. Please give it to me. So let's try it. But all right. One game that I saw that I was like, I had not heard anything about that actually had gameplay, even though it didn't show UI and all sort of stuff. And I didn't realize this was sort of like an MMO at all, was Babylon's Fall. Have you guys heard about this at all?
No, what's that?
It's kind of like
not much really.
It's from Square. It's kind of like I wouldn't say an MMO, I guess, but I guess like games as a service is probably more of a good way of describing it. It's gonna be coming out on PC and PlayStation. But it looks I don't know, it looks interesting. It kind of has like the it's kind of like I guess it's an MMO, action MMO, games as a service kind of thing. It's just like medieval combat, that sort of stuff. Oh, speaking of, since we talked about it. I've been playing a shit ton of Chivalry 2.
I was going to ask you about that because I saw your Twitch announcements earlier in the week. If it was any good.
It is 100% worth the $40. I have not had so
Really?
much fun in that game as I have with that.
Well, Steam sales like next week too, so I'm hoping a lot of these hit sale this time.
It's not cross play, it's cross platform. I definitely have a bunch of PC stuff in there, but it's a shit ton of fun, mindless. Medieval siege grinding, but I'm just having a blast with it. Like it's just I've already maxed out all my characters. I'm just having a blast. Now I'm just trophy chasing at this point. So, but definitely a fun game. I definitely would recommend it. That's that's right. I'm trying to go down this list and see what else we got coming up.
Well, Nintendo, we didn't talk about Breath of the Wild.
Yes,
2.
thank you. Yeah, so let's go down the Nintendo list because I didn't know. I did not watch anything Nintendo related. So
yeah, well, it looks interesting because if you watch the trailer and the fan theories are just rampant at the moment, there's a chance by the looks of it that you might actually be playing as a young Ganondorf.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I'd be curious if they do it, like kind of give you the whole empathy for the villain type idea.
I'm down. I'm about it. I love when they do that actually because that's it's a spin on the whole storyline that a lot of people want to see, honestly, because I mean there's two sides to every story, right? So I mean maybe Ganondorf has a good reason for wanting to take over Hyrule,
That's it. I'm assuming it just looked in the future and just wanted a piece of Zelda. Saw those
It's as
people already
simple
up
as
in
that,
there.
huh?
Yeah, it's just he was the original incel. He was the one that
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
yeah.
He couldn't get into OnlyFans, and so he just decided I got to take over the whole world.
That's it. He foresaw 2021. Just went burn. It.
Yeah. Like, oh God, they're gonna be doing hot tub streams and.
Okay, dressed as Link.
That's
Amazing.
good.
So good.
Actually, I saw one person make a comment about Breath of the Wild 2, and they were like, "Hey, can you please keep the weapon system the same, but not make it so painfully tedious for people to have to farm new weapons?" And I have to agree with that. That was my biggest turnoff with the game.
Yeah.
And I got it, right? The point of the whole system was to make you utilize more than just one sword, right? Which that's cool. Like it makes perfect sense. But it was also dumb as hell that farm weapons to use and it would just break in the middle of using them. And I guess that's like a whole part of the game, yada yada yada. But for me, not a fan of that style.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I never actually completed the game. I did everything in the game except for actually beating the end boss. I just didn't want the experience to end, and then I never finished it. So,
How did you never finish it?
I mean, it was great. I mean, it was definitely one of those things where I took my Switch to work, and played it during setups. Don't do that on set. Don't do that. Don't actually take gaming consoles to work and then play them when you're supposed to be paying attention. It's not a good way to keep a job. But yeah. Anything else that looks good that came out at E3 for you guys? I mean,
I'm surprised you didn't see the Final
more.
Fantasy one, man. It looks so dope.
Well, they have a Square, is it a Sony thing coming up soon? I want to say right at the end of this month or
PlayStation
July?
Direct or whatever they call it.
Yeah, they're gonna have their own thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more stuff that release.
Yeah,
or that
everyone's expecting Final Fantasy 16 something in the next couple of months because that was a big omission from the show.
I think there's two. I saw somebody mention that there might be a different show where they're going to release the trailers or talk about 16 and 7-2. We'll call it the second chapter of 7 remake.
Oh
yeah, because I think both of them are slated to come out. They said that 16 is supposed to come out next year, but I mean they have shown no gameplay footage and they haven't been talking about it very much at all. So I'm inclined to think that might be a 2023 release, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, they had the new episode.
Take your time. Take your time. Don't fucking rush it.
Yeah, well, they had the new thing with Yuffie that just came out too, with the next chapter. So haven't gotten it yet. It's $20.
I will not be getting that.
I mean, I'll get it if it's $10, but I'm not gonna get it right now. So, but let's see. I'm looking to see if they have anything about the next state of play, which
That's a good point. Why are the games called Zelda, but it's always a story about Link?
Marketing.
That's actually a really good point. Maybe it's because Zelda's the controversial figure.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just it's a very good question.
She's the driving narrative force, I suppose. Without her as a motivation, what would Link be doing if she wasn't a thing?
Well, so is Link a simp?
Maybe. I reckon he definitely have a pottery studio. You know what I mean? With the amount of that guy just loves smashing the crap out of pots. I have a feeling he's definitely got a thing. That's a guy that owns a kiln. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. I mean he uses an ocarina, and I mean he's actually a hipster for all intents and purposes. I mean the way he dresses, he kind of has that retro vibe.
Yeah, chickens attack him,
sure.
That kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I can't say the S word on here, can I?
I did the same thing on our stream the other day. I completely forgot the new rules.
What, on Twitch? You're not allowed to say that?
Yeah, I forgot you're not allowed to say that.
In fact, I think I said the I word, which you're not allowed to say here as well.
Oh, heaven forbid.
I know. There's one for A through Z now, words you're not allowed to say.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing we're not platform streamers, so it doesn't really. They would never be able to figure that out.
Exactly. I can pivot us to something wholesome if you want to go straight there. Pokemon Unite. Are you guys pumped?
Wait, what's that?
Pokemon as a MOBA.
What? Dom did
You guys
talk
missed
about
this?
this a while ago. I missed this. Yeah, I had no. Well, like I said, I had no.
I
Yeah,
definitely missed this.
So we've been waiting for it for ages, but they actually showed. So there's obviously a trailer, but then they showed a little bit of gameplay. So the only wild card at the moment, and this was kind of leaked out of the last beta, is it's not just a flat MOBA. Like most of it plays that way, but there seems to be some kind of like sporting mechanic that there are like balls in that you can pick up and throw them through hoops, kind of Quidditch style. I don't really know how it works in yet, but the gameplay that they showed of the different characters, like they had everyone sort of converging into a narrow hallway, and a Mr. Mime basically threw up a barrier, which just trapped their whole team before they went ham on them. There's like Lucario ripping out a couple of big counters. It actually looks really slick, but it's coming out on Switch next month, in July. And then the mobile version will be September.
I'll definitely play it on mobile. That's for sure.
Dude, I will definitely
Yeah.
try this out.
All right, that sounds.
Yeah,
pretty
man. Yeah, check it
fucking
out. So
rad.
yeah, Pokemon Unite.
looks-
It's the new thing.
It literally looks like League, but it's Pokemon.
It's really League skins.
They got the
No one's
bushes,
even
they got-
trying to hide it, dude. Yeah.
All right. If I can be Psyduck rolling around or Bulbasaur, I'm down with it.
You're
Man, 100%. Like, that's the beautiful thing is you can make, like, all the LoL classes, just copy and paste and rip them off because they all kind of fit a Pokemon somewhere.
That's true. Oh my.
Oh
gosh.
my god, this is actually hilarious.
Snorlax is the tank.
yeah, man.
That's hilarious. That is
Yeah,
so.
I'll definitely, I will 100%.
It's all in there, man.
check this
Then I'm
out.
sure there'll be a Jigglypuff with a sleep mechanic and...
I'm definitely
yeah.
I'm looking at a 5v5 matchup, and it's Blastoise, Venusaur, Gengar, Machamp, Lucario against Charizard, Snorlax, Fable, Pikachu, and Talonflame. I don't know who Lucario and
Get on board.
Talonflame
It's
are.
looking good. But I think you guys were sort of questioning something before that I have questions about as well, is that how the hell is this going to play on the Switch version? Because their online formatting and playing with people that aren't already your friends is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very. I'm very curious. I mean, they gotta figure out matchmaking. I mean, hopefully they've added some development to that. But this looks really good. You're right. It's just like League skin for Pokemon. That's hilarious.
100%. It's
Yeah.
literally.
And that's a game that we needed and didn't know we needed it until they told us about it. And now there it is.
So now my question is going to be, how would you choose? Okay, I want to play Charmander, Charmeleon, or Charizard. Like, how do you pick between the three of them?
I guess you just
Do
hit
they?
go.
No.
Well-
I mean, like, but like, what would be that's my question for this game is like, how do they
differ.
like? What's the difference between the different evolution or the evolved stages, or
Yeah.
do you
I
start
don't think we're
playing
gonna
with
see that
one?
for a while. Yeah.
Do we start playing with one, and the more we play that champion, it allows us to unlock like a further like the evolved stages of them. So like a veteran player would be able to play as Blastoise as opposed to it's like somebody is playing as Bulbasaur.
Well,
Or
see,
it's
for
just-
me,
or
if
it's
they
just
haven't done this, and it doesn't look like they have, it's a hell of a missed opportunity. Because you know how in like League and Dota that they have that leveling progression, like you actually have like levels 3 and 4, and then like you unlock your ult at like 6,
Yeah.
7, or 8, depending on those games. Like there are logical points in a match where you could just have evolutions, and it's like
Yeah.
some Pokemon are just the same all the way through, and they just get progressively more powerful and ramp up. Others have these massive power spikes, or based on your playstyle, you could choose to evolve or not evolve. Like, there's so many things that they could have done with this that are awesome. It doesn't look like they will, but I mean, we've seen so many different MOBA style games where, you know, there are different versions of that same character. Like, you know, it might be Kerrigan, and then it's like that's her as a Nova operative from StarCraft, and then they have the Brood version. You know what I mean? So there's so many different ways we can give them different kits for the same characters for the different evolutions. But I have a feeling that's not going to happen for a while. I think they'll do the major archetypes first, then they'll loop back around. Or what they'll do is skins, that you'll be playing Charizard, but you could like just play it under the Charmander or Charmeleon skin. And like some of the skins they've got already in there are just hilarious. Like there's an outfit in there that's got like Snorlax with like a floaty device and stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot of like adorableness I think you can get out of it. The part that I think is the best that is Nintendo, I think it's unlikely to have a lot of the big microtransactions outside of skins. So that's encouraging as well.
Yeah.
I will 1000% be trying that out.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Eva and I will be there day one for both platforms, so come on board.
all right. I mean, that's definitely going to be. I mean, as much as I really enjoyed Wild Rift, it got real sweaty real quick, so I stopped playing Wild Rift.
Yeah.
So I was looking for that, and then also, rip the Marvel MOBA because that's never going to happen.
Oh, Super War.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's officially not getting global now, right?
Yep. It's only on that.
Who was that? NetEase, right?
I don't think it's NetEase. I think it's somebody else. I think it's
I don't understand what happened there. Like, why did they never push it out in the States?
It comes down to like if they didn't get enough traction in the limited launch in the Philippines and whatever. That's the reason why they didn't do it. But you're right.
The very first beta was not great.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about this Pokemon game. That looks like fun, Like I guarantee, and I hopefully it starts out like Wild Rift where there aren't a bunch of sweaty boys on there and sweaty girls, but like
I think it'll be an accessible MOBA. I think it's gonna be more like Heroes of the Storm. I have a feeling that they're gonna deliberately put in objectives on the map that are gonna force you away just from griefing the whole time. Like I have a feeling that there'll be other ways to win other than just
I hope they
smash
do
and
that.
face.
I hope they do that because that's League's thing, right? Like League is if you want to be a meta player, you understand that you need to actually do the objectives in League, right? But the average person just brain deads out and focuses on kill. Let me just snowball and win the game, right? Which that's one way to play it, but in regular League, you can't do that. So in Wild Rift, that's what ended up happening is that you just have people that would snowball, win the game, done. But oh man, I think what you're saying is right. They're probably going to make this less sweaty, or there's going to be people that are going to find a way to make it sweaty. But like I think that they're going to make it more accessible, like you said, in terms of there's going to be a much younger audience that are playing this than what League is targeting.
Yeah, I think it'll be like if they can make it like the Rocket League kind of level of accessibility, where like you can sort of bring that extra level of skill to it and really optimize it, but a 6-year-old could play at the same time. I think if they aim for that and pull it off, it's got the potential to be massive, and it's Pokemon IP, man. Like,
how can it not be good?
Super War was NetEase, by the way.
Yes, yeah, I saw. Who is developing Pokemon Unite? Do we know? Is it just Nintendo?
I think it is Nintendo. Who's doing the mobile version though? That's a good question.
Timmy Studios, TIMI.
Yeah, Timmy Studios.
Looks like.
Oh yeah. They did. What was the other massive game that they did? Were they actually the ones that brought Wild Rift?
No, they did
Call of Duty Mobile.
We covered this. Call of Duty.
Arena of Valor.
Thank you.
Arena of Valor is actually a pretty big mobile game.
I played Arena of Valor when it came out like years ago, so I was a big fan of that. So,
and that's all they have.
Call of Duty
mobile. They got street cred, dude. I mean, that port on mobile for Call of Duty is exceptional.
It's amazing. Yeah. I played. I streamed that game for a while. Like when it first came out, like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I streamed that game, played it on my phone. It's just talk about a lot of fun with like a battle royale. Because I played that in PUBG on mobile. Like I'll still pick it up and play it. It's just they just knocked it out of the park, and it's fun and it's like not challenging in terms of like if you know what you're doing, it's not challenging. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard as fuck. But like once you get the hang of it, it's like it's easy just to stomp on people and just have a lot of fun with it, and it's just one of the most satisfying shooters on a mobile that I've played in a long ass time. So. If they're doing Pokemon Unite, I'm all for it.
Trailer, it looks so good. It looks so good.
I know. We've been sweating on this since we first heard about it last year. And then when we saw like the actual gameplay, and now it's going to be a month away or less than. Come on, man, get excited.
Yeah. I will be joining you guys on that one. We'll have a little 5v5 crew.
I'll try to pull my Switch away from my wife's Switch away from her. I don't know if
you can play it on mobile too. I wonder if mobile can play with people on Switch as well. Like it'll be cross-platform.
I hope it's cross-progression as well, because I'd love to take my account and just pop it on over there. But I have a feeling because it is a different like dev porting it may not be the case. It depends on whether Nintendo has got its name slapped on it for mobile.
Do you guys plan to play it on mobile or Switch?
Both.
That's
Switch for 3 months and then jump ship.
Yeah.
I mean, I never use my Switch for anything, so like the fact that they're releasing games that I'm excited about on the Switch is something. There was actually another RPG that a JRPG that they announced that I'm not going to try to pronounce the name, but I'm excited about that. The Advance Wars game, Metroid, Super Mario or Super Mario Party. It's not Super Mario Party, it's Mario Party. And there's also a Wario game that they announced of it, and it just looks stupid. But I'm also a huge fan of Wario. Yeah. I like Wario because he's like the most underrated. I want to say villain in the Mario world. I don't know. Like I just find him to be absolutely hilarious, and he doesn't get enough love.
Yeah, or Waluigi. I just think Waluigi is hilarious.
Waluigi.
It's just like he's just ridiculous. In my opinion, it's just silly. So awesome, man. Well, I think that covers a lot of the E3 stuff. I don't know if there's anything that we're missing, but there's a lot of stuff out there. Bethesda, I think, is just killing it. Like you said, Microsoft, I think, won this event. Granted, there was really no big Sony stuff because they have their own conference that's probably going to be out later on this summer. So I'm curious to see that. We'll definitely be covering all that too. So Chew, thanks so much for coming back and filling in for Ashy. Very much appreciate it, man.
Anytime, guys. Let me know.
Yeah.
Thanks for dealing with the technical difficulties.
Yeah,
random, but all good.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be an Overachievers Gaming Podcast episode if it wasn't some sort of technical difficulties. It's literally, we should just call ourselves, OG Tech Support, essentially is what it should be.
It's just the podcast reflecting the state of gaming, that like bugs are just part of the show now.
Yeah. Amazing. So anyway, where can people find you, your podcast? Give us a little plugs for the end of the episode there.
Yeah, definitely. So we're getting back into the YouTube swing of things slowly. So youtube.com/alternerdreality. The podcast Alternate Reality, Podbean, Apple, basically anywhere that you can find good podcasts. And then myself at Chewburger84 everywhere. So Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, which I haven't been using much, but soon. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, all social stuff's tough. I take care of all that stuff, and I just always forget about it all the time. So it's one of the harder things to keep up on. It's just so exhausting to keep up with it.
Now that you have a new job and you have time, we can sit down and we can plan this out, right?
We can, yeah, I suppose. I'll have time to stream, work on the podcast, and all sort of stuff. That's honestly one of the things I'm looking forward to, besides being able to work out, have a schedule to work out, which I haven't had.
We'll plan on how to get you on TikTok with some dances.
Fuck no. You can find us on Instagram at og.podcast or Twitter's Overachievers P. Our website's ogpodcast.fm, where you get this episode and every episode where we talk about video games, not me TikToking, and all that.
Oh, yeah, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Oh, yeah, that is today, too. So happy Father's Day, too.
Mr. Chewburger, happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Ours is in September, I think, but I'll take it.
Yeah, well, it's not a preemptive.
Oh, I guess that's just a states thing, huh?
Oh, is that a thing in the U.S.?
Sure is.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Well, U.S. runs the world.
Hallmark holidays, man.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hallmark holiday, yes, absolutely.
That's why the rest of the world just loves you guys.
Yeah. We're big, loud, and obnoxious. So, thank you all for coming out, and make sure I didn't talk about sponsors, but you all know about it at this point. So
Noob Energy.
Noob Energy, OG15 for 15% off any order at noobenergy.com, or you can go to noob.ogpodcast.fm. We'll take you to that same link. So, all right. See you guys next week. And make sure you follow TikTok, tiktok.com/og.podcast, I think is what it is. So
TikTok.
I hate TikTok.
Subscribe now so you can see Charlie doing some dances.
I'm not dancing.
Just put videos of Archie and Ronan on there, and you'll be.
I should, right?
TikTok in no time.
I mean, my wife does.
Just troll the hot tub meta. Just like really Jack Black that stuff. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Jet Black. Like when he see the videos pop up on Reddit with him, like with the t-shirt with like the big giant pug face on it.
Yes.
It just always cracks me up.
Did you see the Thor one though?
No, I did not.
Oh, please watch Jack Black's Thor video.
All right, I'll have to.
Is he doing it now?
It's like 10 seconds. Yeah. But like to the next level. Like it might as well be a hot tub meta stream.
Oh my god.
That's so good, man.
Oh my god, he's got the shoes on.
I'm gonna
I'm
gonna put this in the stream so everyone can watch this right now. Hold on.
Watch the music. Be careful.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll do it without the music. Just for
Yeah, well, you don't need the music. It's
What
a
is
visual
this?
gig.
Oh my god.
A legendary is what it is.
So good.
He's so good, man.
How he's got Captain America too. Oh my god. So good.
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of these, and they're all
So good.
fantastic.
He's-
I want Jack Black's body confidence. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Because he's just a big dude and he does not give a shit.
Yeah, man.
That particular song definitely get in trouble. Yeah, I mean that's why I was just like.
Oh yeah.
I mean it was just luckily it was just only like 5 seconds that it popped up for the music. So.
Yep.
So hopefully it
No
doesn't
worries,
pop up.
guys. Well, look, been a pleasure hanging out. I got to get back to work, but
Thanks,
I will catch you soon.
All right, man.
Drew,
Cheers.
thanks so much for taking your time, man.
Cool.
No worries at all. Catch you later.
Later, dude.
Cheers. All right, so let's find out who is streaming right now. We send some stuff to some peeps. I really want to get back to no, that's not what I wanted. Come on, just go to
Wanna get back
Twitch.
to what?
No, I'm gonna go back and play some more New World, but I can't stream it unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Well, go have some fun.
Yeah.
I gotta play some WoW.
Dines.
Gotta get ready for my raid tonight.
That's true. That's true. Let's go say hi to Dines. We haven't seen him in a while, so Dinez is who he will forever be to me.
Dinez, Dines.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Far from Casual? Did Chef get his PS5? He sure did.
Finally got a
Sure
PS5.
Did.
Fully paid off too, by the way.
So anyway, go say what's
I'm
up.
very excited about it.
Go say what's up to Dines. He's also he's been a guest on the podcast for a few times. We need to have him back on soon just to see how he's doing. He plays Escape from
He's a
Tarkov.
Twitch partner now.
He's Twitch partner now? Oh shit. He finally fucking did it. One of the nicest human beings in Greece. So go check him out.
Tarkov.
Say what's up. Give him some love. Maybe we'll have him back on soon. But I gotta go work on some home stuff and maybe play some video games. Maybe. It'll be fun. So all right. Catch you guys later. Cheers. Bye.
Later, everybody.